what is going on, y'all? Howdy. So today, we're gonna be training, let's see, chest and biceps, and a little bit of abs, a little bit of quads, a little bit of adductors, and a little bit of calf raises every now and then. Because for me, I want to get back in that calf training because I don't want to end up with tiny calves, and I still can't probably train like actual calves in like, I don't even know, like another probably couple months, really. I'm just gonna hold you guys because I gotta set that thing up, and I'm not going to. But so yeah, I gotta wait like another month or two before I can actually train calves like fully. So I'm just gonna do like calf raises, just something to burn them out, whatever time. But yeah, today's gonna entail of the usuals, I gotta figure out what I want to do for, my first movement, which is either gonna be a incline dumbbell or an incline barbell. I'm thinking of incline dumbbelling. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but also today's lifestyle movement is gonna be weighted dips. And you may be asking yourself, well, what does that have to do with, weight lifestyle? Well, the better body control you have, the better. And if you can add weight to a body control movement, like dips, like pull-ups, like squats is one of the better examples. Like, you're squatting all day, and if you can squat a bunch of weight, that's just gonna help you long term. So, with that said, I will see you guys in the gym. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so if you want the mommy milkers, make sure you're doing these right here. This is just an incline dumbbell bench, and we're going to be training heavy around the 30 to 45 degree angle on the bench. Not too high, because then that converts to a lot of shoulders, and this is just the perfect amount of middle chest and upper chest here. But make sure you're training heavy, keeping your elbows in and not flared out too much, because that'll give you strain on your shoulders. And train to failure for one all-out set. Now we're going to be doing dips, supersetted with just body weight dips. Now, you guys really can't see, but I have a resistant band because I don't have a belt. Now, be careful because this could smash your nuts. It was smashing mine a couple times. But just make sure you're training to failure and have the resistant bands over your shoulders on your traps. Like a what are those things that farmers wear? They're like the jean looking things. I forget, whatever. But just try to failure, y'all. Okay. Now we're going to be doing a fly for a set. And what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be converting it. So we're going to do this grip right here, and then we're going to change it to that, because that just allows you to just get a better squeeze and almost turns into like a pressing movement at that part. And you're going to go left over the right hand and then right over the left hand, just back and forth until you can't. And then you're going to back up to where like the cables start, and then you're going to bang out a few more reps. And that'll just be one set here for the mommy milkers. And I almost forgot to tell you a very important thing. We're going to be supersetting it with crunches. So you're going to see me take the camera over behind us and just do weighted crunches just for a set also. But we're also just going to be doing crunches throughout the workout for like a superset that you guys don't see. But I want you guys to see what I do sometimes with weight. Okay. Now moving on to the biceps, we're going to be doing a easy bar curl. I was doing cables on these, but I just wanted to go heavy on the easy curl bar because going heavy on this type of thing is always super fun. And when you're doing on the cables, you can't see the weights, so this is just fun to do. But we're going to be doing 2 sets till failure. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to be working on the brachialis, forearms, and a little bit of the bicep just from curling. But make sure your wrist is kind of like curled upwards. That way you get a better squeeze, and I will admit you will have to go lower because it does burn. And if you're not used to it, you could cramp up your arms very easily by doing it. And then we're going to superset this with wrist curls for 1 set. And finally, we're going to just end it off with a ab crunch with weight once again. And, I would have 2 plates if I, am used to doing decline kind of weighted up crunches. I don't know why I couldn't say the word. But this is going to give you those blocky abs. Not a blocky waist, but blocky abs. Just a more developed ab. So if you're bulking and you want abs still, make sure you're training abs, and they look better on your cut too and everything. But go really slow on the way down. That way you just get the best, results possible. But train to failure for 1 set. Okay. Now we're going to be working the abductors, and all we're going to be doing is making sure we're going as far out as we can comfortably, and then really just exploding and squeezing on the way in, going slow on the way out. Now, if you want to look like Jay Cutler and do the Jay Cutler stomp, you got to be doing these. So what I like to do is, you'll see right here, I like to explode on the way up and then kind of just like stay at the top up there for just a second, you know, just get a better squeeze to the top. So just make sure you train to failure for one all-out set, y'all. What is going on? Ooh, we're done with the lift. And that'll conclude today. I got work, but I think I gotta go back. Well, I gotta go to the store for sure. And I don't have to meal prep. I don't have to meal prep before work, but I do after work, I think. But man, I'm tired. I am tired. Like, that was a great lift. Overall, like, I can't complain about nothing, you know. I think, you know, honestly, I mean, it just sucks for time reasons, right? Because, you know, if I'm doing, like, I'm talking about my split, you know, kind of like inform you guys what I'm about to talk about so you guys don't get too lost. But the one thing about, like, the whole front side of the body and the whole back side is it's great. I love hitting, like, everything in one go. Right? Like, I think that's, like, fun, you know, because you get a variety of everything. The only bad part about it is kind of timing for when you're, for when you're actually, like, you know, like, doing all of it, right? Like, if I split up the leg day, which is what I do, then, you know, that would, like, substitute time for, or subtract time for when I'm doing all these days, right? Or these, I'm like, you know, hear me out, y'all. I'm dying right now, but I'm regaining my brain cells back. That's how you know you got a good workout, is if you can't think properly and you're kind of like losing IQ levels minute by minute. But, so, what I'm trying to say is, the full body, right? Like the front side and the back side, it's awesome because you get a mix of everything. Right? If you're hitting like like lower back extensions, you're using a bunch of your legs already when you do that. So let's say you do hamstrings the next day, it's like, well, they've already been depleted the previous day. Like, you were doing heavy weight on lower back extensions, so you think your hamstrings are fully ready for that next? No, because the hamstrings, like, the fastest recovering things is, I'm pretty sure it's your abs, shoulders, and forearms. Those are the fastest recovering things. Those are the smaller muscle groups. And then the slowest ones are like hamstrings. And then like your, what's the other one? I don't think it's chest. But I know hamstrings is one of those like kind of longer recovery because I'm not exactly sure the science. I got to do more research about that myself. But, you know, so like when you're able to just to do like lower back extensions and then you're going to your back stuff, I think that's a great thing because you're hitting glutes and you're hitting, you know, your lower back, your spinal erectors or whatever you want to call it, and your hamstrings all in one go. Now, you could just do like a quad day, but then it's just like you're doing leg extensions and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, if you're driving like me 22 minutes, just a quad day isn't, you know, entirely worth it for me. You know, that's just kind of how I see it. I'm not saying the gym, you know, isn't worth it, you know, because it definitely is, but for 22 minutes, and me drinking caffeine, I want to get a great workout in. So I could do like abs that day, you know, whatever. I can include other things. But that's not to say that, you know, whatever you're hitting, just train your hardest, man. No matter what you're doing, who you're with, it does not matter. Just train your hardest, you know? I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's just getting in there and training like a beast, dude. There's nothing more there's nothing like the gym, you know, essentially, because you may be thinking, I've had a bad day, I don't want to do anything hard at all, and then you go to the gym and you train your hardest, you feel better, even though you wanted to not do anything harder after that, because maybe you got a 12-hour, 14-hour shift at work, you know, that doesn't matter, get it in when you're tired. It does not matter where you are progressively in the gym. If you're a beginner,
intermediate, advanced, bodybuilder, strongman, top of the world, get in there and do it when you're tired. Get in there and train your fucking hardest. You only are in your prime years you're technically, I'm pretty sure men's natural testosterone production starts going lower around 35. So you have from like 25, 24 to like 34. You have like a 9 year range of your absolute physical prime. And then after that, it's gone. And then you probably have to start on some supplements and you should be starting on some supplements like vitamins and stuff, but I mean more like the, testosterone and all that, because I know we're getting more research on. I'm getting off topic, but pretty much what I'm saying is, don't waste this time that you have and the gift that God gave you to be able to lift heavy weights and be strong physically and mentally. That is one of the greatest things as a man that you can do for yourself, is being physically and mentally strong. If you're not either of those, what do you offer? And I'm not saying life is all about just being strong, but it's one of the main purposes of being. Alright, my phone overheated, so don't mind if you hear the air conditioning running really high on it. But pretty much what I'm trying to say is, one of the best gifts in life that you've been given is just being able to endure. How much can you endure? And I'm not talking about going to the gym and doing 1,000 reps. If you could do only 3 reps, but you tried your absolute hardest on that set, hell yeah. And keep going, doing that. So, I'm going to leave it here so my phone doesn't overheat again. So, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. It'll be back in triceps and all the other good ones that you know about in the next one. Bye.